I'm going to go back to emails as a thing,
Okay.
and I'm going to say lots of people have their emails open on the screen, and it's just ready to distract you. You're setting yourself up to fail if you've done that. And they do. The reason they do it is because they know that if they don't want to miss an email and they don't want to miss a phone call. So set up automated things that allow you to take time away from that. So, what do I mean by that? I mean, on email, you can set an auto reply that says, in the interest of time management, I check my emails every few hours. If it's urgent, please give me a call on this number.
Yeah.
And if you set your voicemail to something like, I'm dealing with, I'm sorry, I can't answer you at the moment, but I will call you back as soon as I can. If it's urgent, please call this. Then you're not that worried about not seeing an email as soon as it comes in and not answering a phone call first time. It's interesting, actually. I did a bit of research into this with, especially the not answering phone calls. People say, don't answer calls from numbers that you don't know. I was saying don't answer calls from numbers that you do know. Apart from a few, like the nursery calls, then obviously I'm going to answer that because it
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
be something that's wrong. But if it's one of your friends or somebody who just let it go to voicemail, because what I found from my time doing this was that when you let it go to voicemail, you can pick up the message and check that it's nothing that is actually urgent. Most of the time, it's not. Um, you've given them the option if it was urgent to call you on an office number or whatever. Plus, if somebody rings you 6 times in a row within about 2 minutes, you'd think that you need to speak to them. But when people ring you, if you let it go and call them back in an hour, it's not unreasonable. If you're in a meeting, you'd call them back in an hour. So call them back in an hour. 70% of the time, they didn't need me anymore. It was
Yeah.
something that they sorted themselves. They're like, oh, I was just wondering this, but I found it now. Great, no problem. And you can cut out a lot of the sand, a lot of the stuff that you don't want to be dealing with. That's just noise in your day,
Yeah.
by not answering your phone.
Yeah, I think as well the neuroscience looking at the ping of the email and the kind of distraction of notifications and stuff, and there I think it's something like, and don't quote me on this, but it's something like it takes 22 minutes to get your brain back into the
Yeah,
zone after you've gone and looked at an email. It's like, why would you waste 22 minutes? That's not a good use of time, is it? It's a total waste of time to do
yeah.
it in that zone. So I love the
There's
idea of, having that auto response. And you're right, if you were in a meeting, you wouldn't be picking up your phone.
yeah,
So why is your time less valuable when you're not in a meeting than it is when you are in a meeting? So again,
exactly.
if you come back to that understanding your time, that's a really, really great thing to consider.
Yeah, and nobody
So
knows if you're in a meeting or not, do they?
no,
But the funny
no.
thing on that stat, by the way, I heard that as well, Beth. I'm not going to quote you on it because you said not to, but it's 22 minutes yet. But the other part to that stat as well is mind-boggling, and that is that in an office environment, they reckon that people on average get distracted every 11 minutes. So you get
What?
distracted every 11 minutes and it takes you 22 minutes to get back into what you were doing, then you're never going to do it.
You
It's
not,
maths
yeah,
that doesn't
you could
work.
have been distracted again before you actually get your brain back in.
Yeah.
Oh, you see? You see, now I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Need to sort that out.
Mm.
So yeah, I love that. All the ideas, things you can do with emails and voicemails and, picking up the phone, not picking up the phone, when to do all that. Brilliant.